intentional eating. We are tropical storm ready, and it's a certain little girl's birthday.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello there, and welcome to a Tuesday. It is August 4th, 2020, day 297 of Gotta Get on Ellen. Everybody, it is my podcast partner's birthday. That's right. It is Tucker McClure's birthday. She is 14 years old. 14 years ago, something happened that would change my life forever. Yet I wouldn't know it until October of 14 years ago. So, I was talking to her this morning, tell her how she probably had lots of little brothers and sisters, and she probably doesn't remember them. And she was in pre-party mode yesterday. Got to tell you, she was running around like she was a puppy. Like, it was insane. Played with her a little bit, threw the ball back and forth. And then she just wasn't ready to calm down. She was like breathing ridiculously heavy. Like it was time for her to take a break. But she wanted no parts of a break. She wanted to keep going and keep going. And she jumped up on her daddy's chair and missed. So that was a little scary. She may be feeling some repercussions today. She doesn't seem it. But, it's morning. We take it easy in the morning. So lots of stuff going on here today. I will give her a little gift in a little bit. I had stocked up on some stuffed toys for her. I always get them at the dollar store. And they're not really dog toys. They're just stuffed animals. And it's fine because they're $1. I don't buy regular stuffed toys, dog toys, because they're like $8, $9, $10. And she typically goes through them in like 5 minutes. She's been doing a little bit better. Her dolly does have a little hole in it, but the stuffing's not coming out yet. So I typically wait until she's surrounded by a bunch of stuffing to go, okay, time to put it in the trash now. So maybe I'll record her getting her little gift later today and post it for y'all because, who doesn't want to see a cute little girl on her birthday? Full-fledged teenager now. We are getting ready for the tropical storm today at the Jersey Shore. Chance of a tornado. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We are basically ready. We have prepared for the storm. Moved all my plants to under the deck. Put all my chairs and tables under the deck. Tied up the table up on the top of the deck. I think we're good. I think we are ready. So just going to keep our fingers crossed. We're supposed to get mostly high winds here. West of us is going to get the bulk of the storm with all of the rain. It's kind of passing us by more to the west, but that's causing the chance for tornadoes to form. So keep your fingers crossed for us here today. And if you are in the area, I wish you much luck as well. Better to be safe than sorry, right? I did want to get out in the sun yesterday because I didn't know when I was going to be able to get back out in the sun again. So I did spend a little time relaxing out in the sun. Here is what I learned yesterday. I am like a sunscreen crazy person. I am always fully covered head to toe with sunscreen. I got my special one for my face, and then I have other ones for my body. I had purchased some of the spray sunscreen this year. We had some company, and they had it, and I was like, does that work? And she's like, yeah. I said, do you have to rub it in or anything? She goes, no, I just spray it. And I'm like, all right. So I started out with my normal sunscreen, and then when it was time to reapply, I used the spray. And I was like, all right, well, and it is much easier for sure. So the problem is that you don't really know that it's not working correctly until it's too late. Yeah. I was out in the sun after I sprayed for maybe about an hour and a half. I come in, use the restroom, look in the mirror. Bam! Bright red chest, bright red arms, even a little on my neck. And you could tell I was reading. I've got like a little sunburn fold on my neck because I was looking down reading, I'm sure. Yeah, it didn't work well for me. I don't know if I didn't put enough on or if it just doesn't work well for me particularly. But we have a lot of them. We have quite a bit of them. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe just, if you're just going to be out in the sun for a little bit, just a quick spritz here and there. But no, it did not work well for me, which, now I know. I'm a little bummed. But, I just got that Hawaiian Tropic, which smells amazing. So I almost don't mind putting on the actual lotion. So we did something unusual over the weekend. We watched a movie. I know. We never watch movies anymore. It's kind of one of those things where it's summertime and we're like, well, Joe would love to sit in the house and do nothing, I'm sure. But I'm always like, let's sit outside. Let's go outside. Let's do something outside. We want to be outside. Because, you're stuck in the house all winter. Right? So when it's warm out, I want to be outside. Even if I'm just sitting around, listening to music, chatting. We played a little cornhole over the weekend. Yeah, I want to be outside. So it was extremely hot this weekend. So we decided to come in and watch a movie on Saturday night. We watched Greyhound with Tom Hanks. It's on Apple TV. It's about a captain who was in charge of taking a fleet across, I don't even know, some waterway during World War II. The fleet had, soldiers and weapons and all of that kind of stuff. And there was a part that they couldn't have air coverage. There was about, I don't know how many miles it was, but they were saying it was about 50 hours that they called this area the pit. And he was the guy in charge of making sure the enemy didn't, attack them, blow up their ships and all of this kind of stuff. So he was the head of this fleet. And it was all about just these basically 2 days of getting across the pit. It was pretty interesting. We enjoyed it. I think we enjoyed it. I think Joe liked it. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. So if there is something that you are looking to watch, if you have Apple TV, that is on Apple TV. A lot of movies to catch up on. As I was looking it up because I couldn't remember the name of it, I realized I still haven't watched A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Is that what it was called? When Tom Hanks played Mr. Rogers. I have not seen that yet. Really want to see that. Still looking to see Bombshell. Want to see Bombshell about the whole Roger Ailes Fox News fiasco. Moving on to today's blog post, today's topic. I wanted to hear from you. What is a habit you would like to stop? Kelly says social media. I do it too much. Yeah. She got a couple of, I second that, from Cassandra and Beverly. Marcy says procrastinating. Yeah, that's a big one. Connie says, I am the best procrastinator in the world. And Lisa says, letting my weight define me. Yeah, that's a big one. That takes a little more mental work than just trying to, redefine a habit or get something to replace it with, I think a lot of women have that issue. I know I certainly do. But, as we're talking about intention all this month, I wanted to talk a little bit about, what are some of the things you would like to change and how you can live intentionally to go about doing that. Today's blog post, we're going to talk about eating with intention. When it comes to what we eat, the goal is to eat foods that give us energy, make us feel good, and are good for our overall health. I know we don't often eat that way. We often eat comfort foods, stuff that just tastes good, which is usually not that great for you. A balance is good. But summer is a great time to up our fresh fruit and vegetable intake. I have a picture of a bunch of tomatoes and eggplants that a neighbor of mine gave me. And thank goodness, because I still suck at growing tomatoes. I really should just give up. It's very annoying. But lucky for me, many of my neighbors grow them and have plenty to share. But there is nothing like a homegrown tomato. My husband doesn't like tomatoes, and I feel so bad because they are so juicy and delicious and readily available. Very easy to prepare as well. I also got some eggplant from the neighbor, something I didn't even like until about a year or so ago. I learned to like it. I figured out a way to prepare them that I prefer, but I figured out something else too. You can really learn to like just about anything. And this is huge when it comes to eating with intention, eating with, as Rachel Hollis would say, foods that bless your body. It first happened to me many years ago when I first worked with a trainer. He told me the perfect breakfast post-workout would be peanut butter on a slice of whole wheat. I wasn't crazy about that, but I made myself eat it, and it wasn't long before I was craving it. The same thing just happened with avocado. I was never a fan, but as I've been looking into a more plant-based diet, I thought I would give them another shot. First few days, I was on the edge. I wasn't crazy about it. I probably could have stopped eating them and never had them again. But after about day 3, I was in love. Now I can't get enough of avocado toast. And don't forget that everything but the bagel spice. It really makes everything better. I've learned to love fish and vegetables that I never enjoyed before. So much so that salmon, now one of my favorite meals. Of course, if you truly don't like the taste of something, then don't eat it. There are plenty of foods that feed you in a healthy way that you shouldn't have to force down stuff that you truly don't like. But you may be surprised by how much you can learn to enjoy. Some things it won't work with. Like, I will never like peppers. Any kind of peppers. I just don't like the flavor. It really makes me sad, actually, because they are in so many foods that I love. Did you ever notice that they put pepper now in every crab cake I come along? Okay, the flavor of pepper is so strong, it just overtakes the entire dish. So even when I eat a crab cake, if I pick those little suckers out, it still just tastes like peppers to me. I just wish I could eat them, really, because they're just colorful and pretty, and it makes me want to eat them. But nope, yuck. We have eliminated a lot of the fattening add-ons as well. We use cooking spray more often than oil and butter to cook things up. There is so much less fat involved. Now, a little bit of fat or a little bit of anything is okay because you do need a little fat in your diet. But keep in mind how much fat there already is in some foods naturally, like avocado. Yes, it's a good kind of fat, but there's still a lot of it. Nuts are another thing that has a lot of fat. It's fine to eat these things in moderation, but don't forget how much natural fat you've already consumed when pouring the oil or butter over your food. Most of us tend to overeat in this country. I definitely include myself in this. Try to eat with intention, though. Be mindful of when you are eating. Make sure to taste your food. Really taste it with noticing the texture and the aroma. Pay attention to the first bite to the last. Intend to not overeat. Notice how you feel as your meal progresses. Are you eating slow enough for your brain to catch up with your stomach? We should be eating until we are satisfied, not full. If we ate every meal until we were full, we would be overeating every meal. Try to notice how you feel throughout your meal. And if you don't finish everything, bonus, you get leftovers to enjoy another time. Let's get the must finish our plate mentality out of our head. We are not children anymore. When eating with intention, try to pick up healthier options and be mindful while eating. Another great idea, meal plan. That's intentional eating. Make a list of what you plan to have throughout the week and plan for it by making some of the things you can ahead of time. That way it's easier to prepare in the moment. Is it a pain in the butt to meal prep for a couple of hours each week? Yes, of course. You know what else is a pain in the butt? Having to buy new clothes or feeling sluggish with no energy all the time because you're eating out of a vending machine or fast food every day. Eat with intention. Plan your meals. It is work, but it is worth it. Oh, it is a Taco Tuesday. Go grab a taco, maybe a margarita. How can you start eating with more intention? Give it some thought. Now go out there and be a badass. You know I'm cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.